Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how to play against a really passive team whenever you're defending in Valorant. The reason I'm doing defending is because whenever you defend against a passive team, it can sometimes feel really weird and you kind of just don't know what to do. It can kind of almost feel like a different game. So whenever I say against a passive team, I mean a team that whenever they're attacking, they kind of just sit around the map and wait to push until the last 20 seconds. I personally really hate when this happens. It's probably my least favorite type of enemy team to play against. So the most important thing here is to make sure you get your teammates on the same page and make sure that you're all playing kind of patience. Play time. The win condition on defense is always time. So you want to just make sure that you can prevent the enemy from planting the spike. A lot of the time, if they're waiting until like the last 20-30 seconds to plant, you can often delay the spike plant so that they're kind of in an unfavorable position. So you really want to play time, have patience, make sure, again, have some good comms, keep your teammates on the same page with all of this stuff. Because if you have teammates pushing and they don't realize like, what's happening, that they're just dying because the enemies are just simply waiting for them, that's a problem, right? If we're pushing and the enemies are like hard pushing a site and your teammates are flanking, that's actually good. But in the scenario where, you know, enemies are just waiting for you on attack, it's going to be harder to actually push. So that leads me to what you should absolutely not do. You don't want to flank or push unless you really see a good opening for that to actually happen. And that's going to be obviously like game specific, so it's hard for me to give an example of when you should do that. But also don't rotate early. Again, this comes down to good comms. Make sure that your teammates are updating you. You're updating your teammates where they are, what's happening, where's the noise, what abilities are being used, how many people are B, how many people are A. So if you hear like there are two people here, don't just rotate, because that does not mean by any means that they're going to come A. Unless they're already like on site planting, you know, don't rotate. Also, on this map, it's especially important because they can just TP very quickly. So make sure you position yourself and make sure you have patience. This also ties into the whole patience thing where you just kind of want to wait for them to come to you. If you sit here the whole round and like they're making noise here and then they actually come B, you have a really good chance of killing like 2 or 3 of them. Because if you're in this corner and they TP, they're coming out hookah, right? What are the odds that they're going to clear this? And you just kill the planter. Again, if it's too late in the round, you just get the win because they can't get the spike down. So again, those are probably the most important things. But what can we do? Remember, again, don't flank, don't push, don't rotate early. The reason you don't want to push is I'll give you a quick example of this. Like if you're playing this really passive team, there's a good chance they're just like sitting here waiting for you. They might be sitting in a slightly different spot, like up here or something, but they're probably waiting for you to peek. So don't feed them the kill that they want. You want to play kind of your own angle, kind of just, again, have patience. So what I wrote down to do is hold angles. So what you can do is kind of sit here and wait for them to come up to you, because eventually, again, they're going to have to take a site. They can't just magically win the round by not pushing anything on attack. Naturally, you have to plant the spike, kill people, one of the two to win the round. So if you play here, this is good. You're kind of doing what they're doing, but you're kind of just saying, I don't need to peek you, you have to peek me. And fall back after picks. So after you get a kill right here, for example, maybe you dismiss all the way back to come here, and then, you know, you can literally just play sight. So how do you counter a passive team? My answer is basically play kind of passive. Have patience, obviously good comms, that always helps. But again, you know, just kind of follow these things. I'll go ahead and reiterate one more time. Have patience, have good comms, make sure your teammates are on the same page. So make sure if your teammates are rotating, you know that they shouldn't, make sure you tell them to just stay A, because they will listen most likely. Hold angles, so any angle you hold, depending on your weapon, if you have a Vandal, you can hold this angle, you know, dismiss. You can play cheese spots as well. On this map specifically, expect the TPs from a really passive team, because they might fake somewhere and then rotate late in the round. You can sit somewhere like here. And yeah, so if you guys have any other questions about this, I know it can be frustrating to play against this. Make sure you're not playing really aggressive against a passive team. That's kind of the most important takeaway here. Make sure you're kind of keeping your cool and not getting too frustrated, even though this can be really frustrating to play against. So remember, guys, I have a new membership on my channel. If you guys want to become a member, you could do that. It would support me a lot. I'd be very grateful for it. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. And without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.